Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I moved into this old Victorian house a few months ago, right? It's been an absolute dream. The creaky floorboards, the high ceilings, the weird drafts, it all has so much character. I've been slowly renovating, room by room, just trying to bring it back to life while respecting its history. A few weeks ago, while clearing out the attic, a space that honestly looked like it hadn't been touched in 100 years, I found something incredible. Tucked away under a loose floorboard, wrapped in oilcloth, was a box. And inside that box was a photo album. It's this beautiful, leather-bound book, the pages brittle and yellowed with age. A small, elegant inscription on the inside cover reads, "The Clark Family, 1923. I was so excited. It felt like I'd found a direct window into the lives of the people who walked these same halls a century before me. So, naturally, I spent the entire afternoon sitting right here, carefully turning each page. The first few photos were just what you'd expect. Black and white portraits of a family, a mother, a father, and 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. They were the Clarks. In every picture, they looked so happy. There they were, posed on the front porch, the same porch I have my morning coffee on. They were all beaming, squinting a little in the sun. There was another of the children playing in the backyard with a scruffy-looking terrier. They were laughing, mid-motion, a blur of pure joy. I felt a real connection to them. I saw them in the garden, standing proudly next to rosebush that are long gone now. I saw them on a picnic, spread out on a checkered blanket. The father, a man with a kind face and a thick mustache, had his arm around his wife. The mother, elegant even in her simple day dress, looked at her children with so much love. Page after page, it was the same story. A happy, idyllic family life. Every single person in every single photo had a wide, serene smile. It was almost perfect. Too perfect, maybe. As I got deeper into the album, the photos started to feel more intimate, less staged. There were candid shots of the kids reading by the fireplace in what is now my living room. There was a picture of the mother baking in the kitchen, her hands covered in flour. Even in these unguarded moments, they were all smiling. It was comforting at first. It made the house feel less like just a building and more like a home filled with a legacy of happiness. I even started to imagine their laughter echoing through the halls. I felt like I knew them. I kept turning the pages, completely captivated. The quality of the photos started to change a little, becoming a bit darker, a bit grainier, as if the photographer was experimenting or maybe the light was just fading. The smiles, however, never faded. They were a constant. The Clark family was perpetually, unshakably happy. I was nearing the end of the album. There were only a few thick, empty black paper pages left. And then I got to the very last one. This final page held a single, large photograph. It was different from the others. It wasn't taken outside in the bright sun or in a cozy, well-lit room. It was a family portrait, taken right here in this dining room. The Clarks were all gathered around the very same heavy oak table that I'm sitting at right now. The father, the mother, the 2 boys, the little girl. They were all there, seated, looking directly at the camera. And of course, they were all smiling. But something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The atmosphere of the photo was heavy, oppressive. The lighting was stark, casting long, deep shadows. Their smiles. They didn't look happy anymore. They looked strained, fixed, almost painful. Their eyes seemed wider than in the other pictures, and they weren't looking at the camera so much as through it. It was unsettling. I leaned in closer, my heart starting to pound. My eyes scanned the scene, from the father at one end to the mother at the other. And that's when I saw it. At the head of the table, in the large ornate chair that I've always left empty, was another figure. It was faint, almost translucent, like a double exposure or a trick of the light, but it wasn't a mistake. It was clearly a person, sitting upright, dominating the scene. It was hard to make out the details, but I could see the outline of a body, of a head, of shoulders. And I could see its face. It was turned slightly, looking not at the camera, but directly at me. And it was smiling. A wide, predatory smile that was nothing like the happy, serene smiles of the Clark family. It was smiling back at me from 100 years ago from my own dining room. My blood ran cold. I slammed the album shut. My hands were shaking. For a moment, I just sat there in dead silence, listening to the old house groan and settle around me. The idyllic story of the Clark family shattered in an instant. All those perfect smiles suddenly seemed like masks, hiding a terrifying secret. Who or what was that thing at their table? Was this why they were always smiling? Was it a guest? A relative? Or was it something else? Something they were afraid of. I haven't been able to open the album again. It's sitting right over there, on the mantelpiece. I can feel it. Sometimes when I'm in this room, especially in the evening, I get this cold spot. I'll be sitting here, and I'll get the distinct prickling feeling that I'm being watched. I find myself glancing over at that empty chair at the head of the table. It's just an old chair, I know. But since I saw that photograph, it doesn't feel empty anymore. I don't think this house is filled with a legacy of happiness. I think it's filled with a legacy of fear. And I think I just got invited to dinner. What do you guys think? Am I just freaking myself out, or did I uncover something truly disturbing about the history of my own home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Seriously, I could use the advice. And if you enjoyed this story and want to follow my unsettling journey in this house, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe.